Hi, I'm Dylan Markovic, and this is my Week 4 progress report for Group Hydra. So, I had 3 tasks for this week. My first task was to create the sprites for the main characters. And the research that I need to do for this was just finding an appropriate software. I needed PNG files for Unity, and I also needed the software to be able to make pixel-style sprites like there would be in the first Final Fantasy. And so I found that graphic scale was the most appropriate. It created PNG files, and as you can see here, like on this sheep, that if I can use this grid system, it actually allows me to create a truly pixelated image. So this part of the project was rather simple for the most part. However, there was a lot of sprites that needed to be done. The standard characters here were fine, but the main character needed to be able to walk and stand in every direction. And so I ended up needing to do 12 sprites, which I did have to redo several times in order to make the animations look smooth. So the second portion of this week, I needed to animate all of the the main character's movements, and I did that in the Unity engine. So if I show you right here, the animator is located down. Well, the animation is located down here. All I need to do is drag and drop the imported sprites into the animator, and I'm able to find the timing of when the sprites should flip in order to make it look like the player is walking. So with them here, I can preview, and I found that having 4 frames per second allowed the character to look like it was walking, which I'll show in better detail whenever I talk about the motion controls. The final part of what I had to do this week was actually creating the player controls. So the player controls were written in C#, and they were used Visual Studios. And so the part that was difficult was actually going through all of the Unity documentation. I had to do that for just the standard animations, but finding all of the code that would help me code this was more intensive than I was first imagining. So the motion controls, I found that using the input class, there was a function called getAccessRaw, like right here, and that allowed me to find if the player was trying to have the character hit up or down, W and S, that would allow me to know if the character should be moving up, which would be a positive one, or down, which would be a negative one. The same works for the getAccessRaw with horizontal. The complicated portion actually came in tying all of the animations to the motions. I needed to have the character walk right when she was walking right, and also once she was done, she should still be facing right, and that goes with all of the directions. So for that, I did have to create some booleans that actually that you can see them here, like the boolean moved right, things like that, but they actually didn't really come into play until you can see here in the Unity animator, where I needed to tie every state that the character could be in together. So the hero walking up, there needed to be a transition between all of the other states, whether it was just standing up or standing left, walking left, standing down. They all needed to be interconnected in a way that allowed the character to look like it was always facing and walking in the right direction that it should be. So that being said, you can see that I have the main character sprites imported into the game, and whenever I hit play, I can control the character. She walks down when she's moving down, she walks right when she's moving right, keeps facing the same direction, up, left, and that's the progress I've made so far for this week. So, in terms of overall progress, my group has done everything that we had scheduled for this week, so we are going to be able to complete the game on time if this keeps up. Thank you.